Hello and welcome, folks, to another edition of Grand Lake Mariner Baseball here on YouTube. I'm Ryan Strobeck, proud to bring you coverage of Grand Lake Mariner Baseball all season long. We have another matchup between the Lima Locos and the Grand Lake Mariners here tonight. Grand Lake comes in with a record of 5-2. Lima with a record of 5-3. It's Father's Day, and we had a very special couple of first pitches as some players on the team had their dads throw out the first pitch. First pitch here. Dude, Tyler Tobert is low and inside, 1-0. So I want to wish every father out there who is watching this broadcast a very happy Father's Day. Next pitch is grounded between the hole of first and second for a base hit. And Tobert gets things started.
With the leadoff hitter reaching, brings up the number 2 hitter, and the Locos second baseman from Columbus, Georgia.
Let's get you the starting lineup for the Lima Locos here this evening. Tyler Tobert, who just led off with single, he's batting first. Will Kilgore, who's at the plate now, he's batting second, playing second. Will Robertson, he's playing right field, he's batting third. JT Thomas, the designated hitter, he's batting cleanup. Jackson Fagg, he's playing third base, he's batting fifth. Garrett Hodges, the left fielder, batting sixth. Stephen Dobbs, the catcher, he's batting seventh. Josh DeBaker, he's first baseman, he's batting eighth. And Parker Upton is rounding out the order in center field. That pitch is driven to left center field, and roaming over to make the catch is Stephen Fitzsimmons. One gone.
One man out, one man on. That'll bring up the right fielder from Moose Creek, Missouri, representing the Blue Jays of Creighton University. Number 11.
That's going to bring to the plate Will Robertson, the right fielder for the Locos here this evening. It's a home and away series for the Lima Locos and Grand Lake Mariners. Yesterday they were at Lima as that pitch is high and away, 1-0. Mariners came out with a score of 8-1, but don't let the score fool you, as the Mariners got most of that production in the ninth inning, and that pitch called a strike, 1-1. The Mariners were held to one hit till the ninth inning, and then they exploded for 5, which capitalized, and Mariners came out victorious last evening. Now they're on top of the Central Division. That pitch is outside, 2-1. Lima just a half a game back, though. Very two good ball clubs playing today, and he checks his swing, but he did go around. 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 gone. Will Robinson at the plate for the Locos. Herford comes, set the pitch, throw down to second. It gets into center field. It was a little offline. So in there with the stolen base is Tyler Tobert. Runner on second now with just 1 gone. It's a full count on Will Robertson. Get you the defensive alignment for the Mariners in just a second. On the mound for the Mariners, Josh Herford. He comes set. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, grounded, foul down the first baseline. Count remains 3-2. Herford goes to Malone University in the fall and spring. He's going to become a junior next fall. Also from Sebring, Ohio. That next pitch is outside. He walked him. The 2 on with 1 gone. JT Thomas to the plate, the designated hitter.
And the DH from Woodstock, Georgia, and Mercer University in Macon.
Mariners pitching last night was excellent as well, as they held the Locos to just 3 hits and 1 run, and that came off a solo shot off the bat of Will Kilgore. Here's the pitch. Curveball in there, called a strike, 0-1. So it's an 0-1 count on JT Thomas. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, called a strike, and now it's 0-2. It rained a little bit here earlier, but The sun stopped, but it has definitely cooled off a lot. 74 degrees game time temperature. Here's the pitch. Curveball, grounded foul on third baseline. Remains 0-2. Still 0-2 on JT Thomas. The pitch, that one swung on, popped up. Foul territory. And that's out of play. 0-2. Still an 0-2 count on JT Thomas. Runners on first and second, one gone. Top of the first inning, that pitch is swung on. That one's grounded foul. Remains 0-2. So JT Thomas putting in a good plate appearance right here. He's fouled off a couple of Herford's pitches, and he's staying alive. Like I said, the Mariners pitching was excellent last night. It was Hankins going 7 strong innings, only giving up 1 run, and then Sam Rice closing out the last 2. The next pitch, that one swung on. That one's popped up to right field. Tucker Linder going back on it. Still going back on it. Makes the catch, and tagging up from second, heading down to third is Tyler Tobert. So Jackson Fag gets a fly out to left field.
Third baseman from Lake Kiowa, Texas. Plays in the spring for Uvalde College, Prescott, Arizona. Number 35, Jackson Fag.
And Garrett Hodges, or Jackson Fag at the plate now. JT Thomas was the one who flew out. So Jackson Fag to the plate, third baseman for the Locos here tonight. Runner 90 feet away from scoring, but the two gone now in the top half of the first inning. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes on Jackson Fag. It's runners on the corner. There's the pitch. That one's grounded to Benninger. He bobbles it for a second and picks it up is Herford, and he's going to get the out. So it's a 1-3 put out. Or 3-1 put out, excuse me. 3-1 put out, and that will end the top half of the first inning. We'll head to the bottom of the first. No score here at Montgomery Field. Back here, bottom of the first inning. No score. Mariners coming to bat. Steven Fitzsimmons going to lead things off for the Mariners. Let's get you the rest of the starting lineup in just a second.
From Golden Valley, Minnesota, and Valparaiso University, number 4.
Steven Fitzsimmons to the plate. Simmons last night Went 1 for 3, 2 walks, an RBI single in the top half of the ninth. Propelled the Mariners to a victory. First pitch he sees is strike, 0-1. Here's the next pitch. That's high and away, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That one's chopped up the middle. Shortstop Tobert comes up with it. Throw on to first in time. One gone. One gone now in the inning. Let's get you the rest of that starting lineup for the Mariners. It's Steven Fitzsimmons who just led things off. He's going to be playing center field. Joe Isles, he's playing third base. He's batting second. Nate Osmo playing short. He's batting third. Malave Bettinger, he's playing first, batting fourth. Tucker Linder, the fifth batter to bat, and he's playing right field. Nick Varda, designated hitter, he's going to bat sixth. Blake Buckman playing second. He's going to bat seventh. Brian Chilton, the catcher, he's going to be batting eighth. And rounding out the order playing left field is Patrick Reif. That pitch fouled back by Joe Isles, and it's a 1-1 count. There's the 1-1 pitch. That one is swung on. That one's hit high and out of play on the right field line. Count moves to 1-2. That pitch grounded to third. Coming up with it. Throw on to first in time. And 2 up, 2 down so far.
2 outs. Nobody aboard.
That's going to bring up the shortstop, Nate Osmo.
Portland, Oregon, and Dartmouth College, number
Here tonight.
18, Nate Osmo.
Osmo on the year, 267 average, 5 RBIs, 1 walk, 3 runs scored. The first pitch, that one swung on, grounded to second, and flip on to first in time. So Mariners go around the ball diamond here. They go 6-3, 5-3, 4-3.
After 1 inning of play at Montgomery Field.
So 3 up, 3 down for the Mariners. We'll head to the second inning. No score here in Salina.
Going to have a couple people play hot potato.
We're going to the top of the second inning. No score here at Montgomery Field in Salina, Ohio. It's a game between the Grand Lake Mariners and the Lima Locos. Aaron Hodge is going to lead things off for the Locos this half inning. He rounds this one in the hole between second and first for a leadoff single. Back-to-back innings, the Locos have got their leadoff runner to hit in the hole of second and first.
Leadoff single by Hodges.
And now Steven Dobbs coming to the plate.
From Hoover, Alabama, University of Alabama, Birmingham.
He's the catcher for
Steven Dobbs.
the Locos. Let's go around the ball diamond and see where the Mariners are positioned. Behind the plates, Brian Chilton at first, Malave Bettinger at second, Blake Buckman at short, Nate Osmo at third, Joe Isles, and left, Patrick Reif at center. It's Steven Fitzsimmons, and in right, it's Tucker Linder. That pitch is fouled off, 0-1 count on Steven Dobbs. Dobbs on the year, 250 average. 4 for 16, 1 run scored, 1 RBI, 5 walks. That pitch is on the outside part of the plate, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes on Dobbs. Here's the 0-2 from Hereford. That one's down and in, 1-2. A throw over, nothing happening. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no one gone. Top half of the second inning, no score. For the next pitch, that one is swung on and foul tipped. He just got the end of it. Chilton can't squeeze it. So count remains 1-2. There's a pitch. That gets away from Chilton to the backstop. Chilton going to hold on to it. A 2-2 count now on Dobbs. Hodges moves up to second on the wild pitch. Oko's looking to strike first here today. Hereford comes set the pitch. Off speed pitch, got him and chased one in the dirt and in the other batter's box. 1 gone. First strike out of the day for Hereford.
1 out, runner at second. Brings up the first baseman for the Locos, representing Wichita State University. Number 21, Josh DeBacker.
Josh DeBacker now to the plate. Playing first base for the Locos. One gone. The pitch. That one is swung on. Popped to left center field. Or left field. Reif coming on. But Osmo going to go out and make the catch. That one was very short in the left field. F6. And Parker Upton now to the plate. So after the leadoff runner gets down to second base and no outs, there are quickly 2 gone now.
Creighton University. Number 16, Parker Upton.
Parker Upton to the plate is the center fielder for the Locos, getting his first crack at it here this evening. 2 gone. Here's the pitch from Hereford. In there for a strike, 0-1. There's the 0-1 pitch from Hereford. That one checked his swing, but he did go around on that one. I could see that one from here, 0-2. Hereford on the year, 5 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 11 hits, 4 earned runs, and 4 strikeouts. That pitch outside, but didn't miss by very much, 1-2. And he has 4 strikeouts. There's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him. Second strikeout of the day for Hereford. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. No runs on 1 hit. 1 man left on. 0-0 is the score.
After an inning and a half.
Bottom half of the second inning, no score. Mariners coming to bat. Mariners go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom half of the first inning. Here's a pitch. That's way upstairs and away. 1-0. There's one, the pitch from Baker. That one's outside. 2-0. Banger with a good eye at the plate last night. Up until the ninth inning, he was one of the only Mariners to reach base 2 times. He reached on a walk. That pitch is high and away. 3-0. So Bettinger way ahead in the count. 3-0. Old Baker on the mound for the Locos. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Taken all the way is Bettinger. 3-1. That pitch is high and away. Banger reaches base. First base runner of the game for the Mariners. Tucker Linder coming to the plate.
Brings up the Mariner right fielder from Talmadge, Ohio, and Marshall University. Number 10, Tucker Linder.
Linder, 241 average. 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 RBIs, and 1 home run. Baker comes set. The pitch. That's down and away. 1-0. Baker on the year at 8.11 ERA, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. There's the next pitch. That one swung on and missed. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tucker Linder. All right, we're back after some difficulties. Varda lines this one to shortstop, and everybody's going to be safe off of that. Varda, as the shortstop, Tolbert tried to make a diving play, and he did. He threw it to second, but it pulled off the second baseman, and now the bases are loaded.
The second baseman from Shreveport, Louisiana, and the University of Louisiana at Monroe, Blake Buckman.
As Blake Buckman now to the plate. Bases loaded, no one down. Blake Buckman to the plate. A good night at the plate last night. Went 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 runs scored. That pitch is outside, 1-0. Well, Blake Buckman to the plate. Bases are loaded. The line, the pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back, 1-1. Alignment for the Locos. Dobbs is going to be behind the plate. DeBacker at first. Will Kilgore at second. Tyler Tober at short. Fagg at third. Aaron Hodges in left. Parker Upton in center. And Will Robertson in right. That pitch fouled up and out of play. 1-2. Sun is shining out in right field, but you can see some dark clouds in left field. Good weather analysis right there for you. Did take a semester's worth of weather and climate, so get all my knowledge from there. Here's the line, the pitch. That's outside, 2-2. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, no one gone. Bases loaded for the Mariners. That pitch fouled up and out of play. Count remains 2-2. That's a 2 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And the dirt bounced before the plate. Full count. The Buckman in a good position right here. Base hit, ball 4. As many players say, any way to get on base. Nowhere to put him. It's a full count. The line of the pitch. Swung out. That one's popped out of play. Good at bat right here from Blake Buckman. Seeing the ball well and fouling off some tough pitches. It's a full count. Vandermeer at third. Linder at second. Varda at first. Here's the payoff pitch. Up high, he walked him. Mariners playing from in front here tonight. They take the lead, 1-0. Everybody else moving station to station.
Nobody out. Run comes home. Bases remain loaded.
Bases are still loaded with no one gone.
Kentucky and Murray State University. Brian Chilton.
Brian Chilton to the plate. The catcher getting his first look at Baker here tonight. Pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1. There's the 0-1. Thought about it. Wisely holds up. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded, no one gone. Top half or bottom half of the second inning. Here's the next pitch. That one's popped up out of play. Moves the count to 1-2. Mariners were away for their last 3 contests. They split a pair versus Lorain County, winning 1 and losing 1. And then they won last night versus Lima. And now we're back home. There's the wind, the pitch. That's low. 2-2. So far, Mariners seeing a lot of pitches here in the top half second or bottom half of the second inning. That pitch is called strike 3. So Chilton down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Patrick Reif now to the plate.
Stepping in now the left fielder, a native of Dayton, Ohio. Plays in the spring for the University of South Carolina, upstate. Number 41, Pat Reif.
Right, you said it right. Right.
There's first pitch to Reif. He looks that one down and in. 1-0. Reif left field today. Went 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored, and actually got an RBI in his walk. That pitch, he went away like 3/4 way, but couldn't hold up. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Oh, nope, he's going to step off now. Going to regather himself. Thought he was winding up there, and there's a little thing in my way. But that pitch is high and tight. 2-1. Mariners go 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning. So far, here in the bottom half of the second inning. That pitch is lined into left field. That's going to get by the diving Tolbert into left field for a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Everybody else just moving up a base. The Linder comes in to score. It's an RBI base hit for Patrick Reif. The second RBI of the year.
1 out. Bases loaded. Another run comes home. 2-0 Mariners. Brings up
We head back to the top of the order. Stephen Fitzsimmons.
He wears the uniform of Valparaiso University.
The bat.
Number 43.
Mariners wearing their
Fitzsimmons.
newer jerseys. White tops. Blue sleeves that start off solid and then fade up towards the shoulders. Lima Locos wearing their away jerseys, gray pants, blue jerseys with a big orange stripe across the middle of the shirt and the sleeves. Time to remind you that kids camp is tomorrow for the Mariners. Still time to sign up. They will take place tomorrow and Tuesday. And you get instructions from collegiate players and collegiate coaches. Good time to learn about the game of baseball and learn about the fundamentals and much, much more. You can sign up today. Will cost you about $10 cheaper, or you can sign up tomorrow at the doors. Either way, we'd love to see you come down and participate in our camp. So it's 2-0 Mariners, bottom half of the second inning. They've put 2 on the board here in the bottom half of the second.
Fitzsimmons.
On base, ball 4 walk from Buckman. And an RBI single from Rife is giving the Mariners the lead. He looks at a ball, 1-0, is Fitzsimmons. Simmons grounded out to short his first time up. Baker Wines delivers. That pitch is lined into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Or no, he's going to make the catch. What a catch right there from the left fielder, Garrett Hodges. I thought that one was for sure in the gap, but Hodges roaming over to left field and making the catch, taking what at least would have been a base hit away from Fitzsimmons, if not more. So 2 gone now. And Joe Isles to the plate.
That's a catch and a half there, Wolfie. That would have saved at least 2 runs. Yeah. That saved at least 2.
There's a pitch to Isles. He looks at a strike, 0-1. So Varda couldn't tag up on the play because he thought that one might have was getting down too, but had to retrace his steps, and by the time that Hodges got back up and threw it, as that one's grounded to second, coming on, charging and flipping on the first is Kilgore for the final out of the inning. The Mariners strike for 2 runs in the home half of the second inning. They're on top, 2-0. We head to the third inning.
After 2 innings of play.
Top half of the third inning. Mariners on top, 2-0. Tyler Tobert going to lead things off for the Locos here in the top half of the third. He's 1 for 1 today. Got a single and a stolen base to begin the game. He looks at a ball down low, 1-0.
Is that right? Retired teacher. I'm sure he liked doing it because obviously he wasn't getting paid for it. I'm sure he just liked
Oh, wait,
it.
paid what he's worth.
Another ball, 2-0 on Tobert. Josh Hertford on the mound for the Mariners. Second appearance for him this season. That pitch grounded foul, 2-1. The next pitch, call the strike. Evens the count up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the top half of the third inning. Hertford Wines delivers a 2-2. Swung on, that one's popped into right field. Roaming to his left. And making the catch is Linder for the first out of the inning. One gone.
One up and one down. That'll bring up the number 2 hitter and second baseman from Georgia State University in Atlanta, Will Kilgore.
All of a sudden you hear from downstairs, accolades, accolades. And I'm saying, what's Wayne yelling about? Yeah. Jim goes down.
Will Kilgore to the plate. Flew out to center field his last time up. And that one hit him. So first pitch, Kilgore sees in this at bat. And it hits him. A runner on first with one gone. Will Robinson now going to step to the plate.
In the spring for the Blue Jays of Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska, Will Robertson.
Jim comes back out and says,
He walked his first time up.
"Change the meaning that we thank him." Marker. Thank Wayne.
Hartford comes set.
So did you have to thank Wayne?
A throw over. Back in safely.
That was after.
Nothing happening.
Before he left, before he got to the game, dropped in the mailboxes. Wayne's mailbox was back full water. Thank Wayne.
Here's the next pitch. That one's outside. 1-0. It's 1-0 count on Will Robinson. There's the next pitch. That one's high and away. 2-0. To get you some updated standings, we'll start with the Central Division in the Great Lakes Summer League. Grand Lake Mariners have a half-game lead on everybody. They're 5-2. Galleon is 5-3. Lima 5-3. Lorain County, they're 3-6. And Lincoln County, they're 2-6. That's your updated standing. Grand Lake with a half-game lead on everybody else, or at least two of the teams. That pitch is drilled to right field. That one's traveling way back. That one is a fair ball, and it is gone.
Is that gone?
A home run for Will Robertson over the right field fence, and we have a tie ball game now.
Could you see it, Wolfie? Gone.
So Will Robertson delivers a 1-out, 2-run homer. We're tied up at 2 here in the bottom half, or top half of the third inning.
Designated hitter. He plays in the spring for the Bears of Mercer University.
J.T. Thomas now to the plate.
J.T. Thomas.
Oh, this is,
It sounded like it.
that pitch is swung on. That one's fly to left field, but that one's going to end up foul. 0-1. There's the next pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him way out in front of that one. 0-2. Orford on top of J.T. Thomas here. As he left one up against Will Robinson. Here's the next pitch. Curveball. He got him looking. Inside corner. J.T. Thomas down on strikes. Third strikeout of the day for Hereford. 2 gone now in the bottom half of the top half of the third inning.
2 outs, nobody on. Brings up the third baseman, Jackson Fagg.
Jackson Fagg now to the plate. And there's a strike right there, 0-1. He grounded out to first, his first time up. Malave Bettinger was hit hard. He couldn't come up with it. Hereford was running over there. It's a swing and a miss, 0-2. And Hereford picked it up and said, hey, I'll just take it myself for the easy out. And that ended the inning. He's on, Hereford on top, 0-2. That pitch grounded up the hole. Buckman goes to the backhand, and he can't make the play as that's a single into center field. 2-out single from Jackson Fagg. And Garrett Hodges now to the plate. Hodges, he's 1 for 1 tonight. He singled his last time up. Made a spectacular catch out in left field last half inning that saved a couple runs. At least one run, could have been more, in the left center field gap. But Garrett Hodges to the plate. There's the pitch. That's in the dirt. Good block right there from Chilton. 1-0. Jackson Fagg down at first base. He got a single up the middle. There's the next pitch. That one's low. 2-0. Hodges sees batting .233 on the year, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. There's the 2-0. That one swung on. That one's lined into center field. That's going to get down, and Fitzsimmons over to cut it off. Quick relay throw in. The back-to-back base hits with 2 outs. And Steven Dobbs now coming to the plate.
2 men out, 2 men on. That'll bring up the catcher from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Number 5, Stephen Dobbs.
He's 0 for 1 tonight. Struck out swinging his first time up. First and second, 2 gone. The pitch, low, 1-0. 2-2 the score here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Mariners strike first in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Top half of the 3rd. The Locos get a 2-run home run from Will Robinson, and Dobbs now at the plate as it's a 2-0 count on him. There's a 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0. So Hereford going to have to battle back here. There's the next pitch taken all the way is Dobbs, 3-1.
That's about where we expected it to be, really.
There's the 3-1 pitch. He checks his swing, but it goes off the end of the bat. Hereford flips it on to first for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. But the Locos get 2 runs back on a home run by Will Robinson. We'll head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The score, Mariners 2, Locos 2. Nate Osmo going to lead things off for the Mariners in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. I'll eventually stop saying the wrong half innings, but we're here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Osmo to the plate. He looks at a called strike, 0-1. Osmo 0 for 1 today. Ground out to second his first time up. There's the pitch. Outside, 1-1. Game tied at 2 apiece here in the bottom half of the 3rd. There's a line the pitch. That one is called a strike. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nate Osmo. There's the pitch. That one is swung on, and that one's hit high to left center field. Plenty of time to come over and make the catches. Hodges for the first out of the inning.
1 up and 1 down. That'll bring up the cleanup
Tucker Linder now to the plate. Or Malibay Benninger, excuse me, now to the plate.
University of Toledo. Malibay Bettinger.
He walked and came around to score. Last inning.
Malavi? Yeah. Malavi.
There's the first pitch. Benninger, curveball, got him. Called a strike, 0-1. Backdoor curveball from Baker. And he kind of hung up there too long for Benninger to really think about swinging at that one. That pitch is swung on and missed. Blew it right by him, 0-2. Oh, Benninger down the count, 0-2. Baker winds, delivers. Swung on and missed. He got him. Second strikeout of the day for Baker.
Two gone, nobody on. Brings up
Tucker Linder now to the plate. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third. No one on.
Tucker Linder.
2-2 is the score. That one's fouled straight back. 0-1. Tucker Linder singled his first time up.
70s?
Already seeing more offensive production here tonight from both squads. That pitch is lying in. 1-1. There's the next pitch. That one swung on and missed. 1-2. A pitch. Got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts ends the inning. We'll head to the top half of the fourth inning. Score still tied up at 2.
Montgomery Field.
Josh DeBacker now to the plate. 2-2 our score as we head to the top half of the fourth inning. Mariners get 2 in the bottom of the second. And Locos come right back and get 2 of their own in the top of the third. That pitch is in the dirt. 1-0.
No, because I told you to tell me ahead of time. I can't leave it on the whole time because it freaks out when you go behind. No, it was like before I realized that like you were trying to do it. That's when I.
It's the 1-0 pitch. That one's swung on, hit up the middle.
That's why I said
Big hop for Osmo. Throw on to first in time for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I got it.
One gone. Top half of the fourth. Porker Upton to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout swing.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Bottom of
Parker
the
Upton.
fifth or middle? Okay. Yeah, because I was like, he said it, but I didn't.
That
know
pitch
he
swung on and missed from Upton 0-1.
You're like looking at it. I was like, oh
There's the next pitch. That one's low, 1-1. There's a 1-1. Mitch is outside, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Parker Upton. 1 gone. That pitch lined right to Nate Osmo at short. Osmo didn't have to move a lick. 2 gone.
2 outs, nobody aboard. Back to the top of the lineup. Shortstop steps in. Leadoff hitter. Tyler.
Back to the top of the order. Tyler Tobert, 1 for 2 tonight. Flew out to right field last time up. Josh Herford still on the mound for the Mariners. There's a pitch. Inside corner, called a strike. 0-1. Tobert was at short last night. That pitch is called a strike, 0-2. He was at short last night and was playing well up until that 9th inning. Like I mentioned, a big explosion inning for the Mariners as Linder hit a ball right to Tobert that just took a wicked bounce over his head, and there was nothing Tobert could do very much. But also Tobert had a throwing error in that top half of the 9th inning, and that's really what started the big inning for the Mariners. Next pitch on the outside part of the plate, but not going to get the call. Count moves to 1-2. Wind coming in from left center. That pitch is lined into right field. That one's going to hang up there for Linder to come over and make the catch for the second or third out of the inning.
Locos go in order.
We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Bottom half of the 4th. We are still even.
Mariners and Locos tied up at 2 here at Montgomery Field. Bottom half of the 4th inning, Mariners and Locos tied up at 2 apiece. Nick Varda going to lead things off here for the Mariners. He reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. It was a nice diving stop by Tolbert. He tried to go to second. Varda shows bunt, pulls back. 1-0. And the throw to second pulled off the second baseman Kilgore. And everybody was safe. That pitch fouled straight back into the netting. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike on Nick Varda. Left-handed hitter from Ashland. Baker Wines delivers. Curveball in there. Called strike. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Varda. That one swung on, popped out of play. Remains 1-2. Still 1-2 count on Nick Varda. Baker comes set. Now Wines delivers. That pitch is lined Oh, nice diving stop right there. Flip on to first in time. Nice play right there from first baseman Josh DeBaker.
One up, one down. That'll bring up the Mariners' second baseman.
They made a diving stop
Warhawks.
to his right-hand side,
At Monroe, Blake Buckman.
and now there's one gone. Blake Buckman to the plate. He walked home a run his last time up.
The Warhawks from where? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they used to be like, I want to say they were like northeast Louisiana or southeast Louisiana.
Yeah.
Then they changed the school. Then they became University of Louisiana.
Monroe.
And Lafayette.
That pitch in the dirt. 1-0.
It's like Southwest Missouri State. It's now Missouri State.
Yeah.
The Bears are just Missouri State.
1-0 count on Blake Buckman. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 2-0.
Well, they tried to do that with Buffalo.
2 balls, no strikes for the second baseman. Louisiana Monroe takes a strike there. 2-1. Get you some updated scores from around the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League.
State University of Buffalo.
They tried to pull that one here.
That pitch chopped toward third. Going to be a tough play, and just going to hold on to it is Fag. And Buckman reaches on an infield single.
We have one out and one on. That'll bring up the Mariner catcher. In the spring, he played for the Racers.
Brian
of
Chilton
Missouri State.
coming to the plate with one gone and one on.
Brian
He's 0 for 1
Chilton.
with a strikeout last time up.
When you go to games, they give you those little packets.
Yeah.
I know they do this for Ohio University. For a proper addressing of
2 games already final here in the Great Lakes Summer League. As a pitch to Chilton, chopped up the middle. Going to be tough to get to, but Tolbert tags second on to first in time. And that's going to end the inning. 6-4, 6-3 double play.
Didn't score. Nobody left. Threw
Oh, it's no runs on one hit, no one left on. We'll head to the top half of the 5th inning. Mariners and Locos tied up at 2.
more sponsors of Mariner.
Top half of the 5th inning we go. 2-2 our score here at Montgomery Field in Salina, Ohio. Good night for some baseball. Plenty of fans here to cheer on the Mariners.
2, 3, and 4.
Good turnout. It would seem like it might not be a good night. It really has turned into a beautiful night to watch some baseball. We had a little bit of showers pregame, but so far during the game, not much has been going on. Well, Kilgore to the plate. Looks at a ball, 1-0. He hit the big home run last night, which tied the game down the left field line. And that's what kept the Locos in the ball game. That pitch is called a strike, 1-1. It was Kilgore who went deep There's the 1-1 pitch. That one's outside. 2-1.
I don't know if you really want your AAA team to be called Chihuahuas, but it's two of the more marketable. Padres minor league have two of the more marketable
There's a 2-1 pitch. That one's down and away. 3-1.
apparel teams in baseball.
Now, where's Luke now?
He retired.
Did he get released from the Pirates?
3 balls, 1 strike on Will Kilgore. He's
He retired. He got sent to.
0 for 1 today, and he looked at a ball down low. We walked him. The leadoff base runner on for the Locos. Will Robinson to the plate.
Nobody out, runner at first. Brings up the right fielder, Will Robertson.
He went deep his last time up and tied the ball game up.
Spring training. They wanted to work his arm up and let him start for Charlotte. He got
He's up again. Quick throw over, but in safely is Kilgore.
Then he got a start a couple days later. Didn't pitch bad. Pitched 4 innings. Gave up 3 runs. Didn't walk anybody, you know. And
There's a pitch. Kilgore off and running. Throw down to second. It's high. And slid off the base for a little bit, but he got back on it. And safely is Kilgore with the stolen base.
retired. He said just didn't feel like he could do his arm.
He couldn't get his arm where he
Well,
It's an 0-1 count on Robinson.
he said didn't know if he could do the time. And like I said, here's the thing: the Friday before he left, the Friday before spring training opened, his wife gave birth to her first son.
0-1 count on Robinson. The pitch. That one's popped up. Sky high foul territory.
Then was Sunday.
Will it stay in?
It was on Monday.
Making the catch. Nice play right there from Joe Isles, working around some tarp out there near the bullpen of the Mariners, who have seemed to get some people up and
One out,
Going.
runner at second. Brings up the Locos designated hitter, J.T. Thomas.
So anyway,
the 1 gone now. Top half, 5th inning. J.T. Thomas to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Struck out looking his first time up.
His dad, Jeff, drove nonstop from Nashville to Arizona.
Hartford looks back at second. Now looks home. Now delivers home. Curveball. That one's shallow left center field. Osmo going up and going to make the catch for a second out of the inning.
Or Chicago. And he was the bench coach.
So
Came up
2 outs now in the top half of the 5th inning. Jackson Fag to the plate.
Steps in for the Locos, Jackson Fag.
Yeah, I had a nice little conversation with him, an article on it.
He just decided he couldn't get his.
Well,
Well,
just
it's
like
32.
the timing. It just said, the time in there and having it.
2 gone, top half, 5th inning. Runner on second.
Sounded like he didn't want to be away from his son.
Sure.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Jackson Fag to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He reached on a single his last time up.
The time it would take for him to get his arm back in the hole. He did have a
The
problem.
leadoff runner gets on for the Locos, but 2 quick outs.
You know,
That's led to Jackson Fag.
he said he might go into physical.
There's the pitch. That one's lined. That one's going to get through. No, backhanded play by Buckman. Throw on to first in time. Nice play by Blake Buckman. And the Locos are
Locos do not score in the 5th inning.
down
Left
here
runner,
in the top half of
We
the
go to the bottom
5th
half,
inning.
Inning number 5. We're still tied at 2 in Montgomery Field.
Quote the Colonel.
We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Score still tied up at 2. We head to the bottom half of the 5th
And, you know, I don't know
here
if you're
at Montgomery Field. Bottom half of the 5th inning, we had score still tied up at 2.
The University of South Carolina
Kind of eerily similar to last night's ball game, except
Right.
we're tied up at 2 and not 1. Matt Reif to get things going for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 5th. He's 1 for 1. RBI single. His only time up. He lines this one up the middle for a base hit to get things going for the Mariners. So Reif 2 for 2 on the day.
Nobody out. Runner at first brings up the leadoff hitter and center fielder. Number 43, Stephen Fitzsimmons.
In Cincinnati and San Diego.
Tony Glenn.
That was the answer.
So runner on first, no one gone. We go back to the top of the order. Stephen Fitzsimmons
Yeah, I realized that when
at the plate.
third one.
0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah. He was something else. Tony Glenn. Yeah, he was great.
It's 1-0 count on Stephen Fitzsimmons.
Position with the bat. Yeah, he could hit the ball anywhere he wanted to.
Showing bunt. He's going to bunt this one down the first base line. It's going to be a tough cover for the second baseman. He's over there in time. Runner does move up a base. But one gone now. So Fitzsimmons, with sack bunt, gets Reif over.
Mariners. He's also the third baseman. Number 9, Joe Isle.
Joe Isles now to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight.
What were the Mariners coming into the
5 and 2. Locos are 5 and 3.
I'm set.
Not a bad start this season.
Pitch swung on and missed.
Galleon.
Strike one.
Just based on previous seasons.
Runner on second, one gone. 0-1 the count on Joe Isles. We're here in the bottom half of the 5th. The pitch. That one's lined into right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Reif rounding third. He's going to head home. Has trouble picking up. And Isles is going to be tagged out at second. Does get a run home, though.
You want to call that a single E9 or?
Oh, he's out.
No.
So Isles, gun trying to take 2. Reif does make it home, though.
A run comes home. Gives Grand Lake a 3-2 lead. That now brings up the
RBI
shortstop.
single for Joe Isles. Right fielder had trouble trying to come up with the ball in right field, which allowed a little extra time for Reif to come home. They appeal down to third, saying that Reif missed third, but home plate umpire saying no. He touched third. That pitch is well in front of the plate. 1-0 count on Nate Osmo. Osmo 0 for 2 tonight. Well, Mariners have regained the lead 3-2 now here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That pitch, that one is lined into left field for a base hit. Went
2 outs and a runner at first. Brings up the cleanup hitter and first baseman. Malavey
right under the
Banger.
glove of Fag, but it was hit really pretty hard and really wasn't a play for Fag to make. Malavey Benninger now to the plate. We're going to have a pitching change, though. Before Benninger steps to the plate. Mariners have taken the lead 3-2 in the bottom half of the 5th inning. We'll be right back after this pitching change. Don't go anywhere. Still in the bottom half of the 5th inning, Mariners have taken the lead 3-2. Here in the bottom of the 5th, on an RBI single from Joe Isles.
Colorado. Plays in the spring for the Blazers.
Mel-
University of Alabama.
Melvin Bettinger to the plate.
Number 32, Isaiah Gonzalez Montoya. Gonzalez Montoya pitching for Lima. Batting for the
Oh,
Mariners. Melvin
Baker's
Bettinger.
night is done. He went 4 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
Killed my father. Prepared to die. Good call.
That pitch is called a strike, and it's a steal for Nate Osmo. It's Isaiah Gonzalez Montoya on the mound now for the Locos. Comes from University of Alabama, Birmingham. Also from Greenwood Village, Colorado. Going to be a senior coming fall. Now he's going to tell his catcher to come out here and make sure that he has the correct pitch. So 1 count on Bettinger.
I kind of miss the old button down ones we used to have back in the Lip Shack days.
Yeah.
Couple of them were so old they got
Long talk here at the mound.
made them vests, like the Reds.
Well,
Never did get you those updated scores for you.
the numbers kept falling.
I'll get those in a
So they had
brief second.
time where they're a little more expensive, but the numbers,
2 finals already today. The Richmond Jazz defeated the Graders 10-9.
I don't like those.
Cincinnati Steam defeat the Xenia Scouts 8-0. Joes and Copperheads tied up at 0 at top of the 3rd. That pitch is up high, 1-1. The count on Malavey.
Mets.
And the top of the 4th, the Muskegum Clippers lead the Green Giants 4-0. Loggers on top of the Leprechauns 2-1. Those are all the games going on in the league so far. That pitch is swung on. That one's grounded at second. Throw on to first in time for the 3rd and final out. Mariners do get the lead. They lead now 3-2, heading to the 6th inning.
Mariners 3, Locos 2. We're gonna
We'll
play
be right back
Intern Isaiah, you got the
here
mic.
at
It's all yours.
Montgomery Field.
Turn your mic.
Back here, 6th inning on their way.
15 years.
As ball
Think of those bus trips.
to the batter, Garrett Hodges.
Got to be like 77 and you start missing trips.
He's 1 for 2 today, or 2 for 2 for today. That pitch is lined into right field for a base hit. So Hodges 3 for 3 today. No lack of offense coming from either side of the plate.
Locos, Stephen Dobbs.
A little bit different game than last night.
Yep.
Mariners are on top 3-2. Hereford's still on the mound for the Mariners.
You know, 15 years he didn't miss a game, home or away.
Here's a pitch showing bunt, bunts it down the first baseline. Hereford going to flip it on to first in time. Sacrifice bunt.
That's a record that'll
Runner at second. That'll
And
bring
now
up
there's
first
runner in
baseman.
second with one gone.
To backer.
Not counting coaches and stuff.
Well, Zach Bunt worked for the Mariners. The Locos deciding that, hey, we'll try this too. And now there's runner at second with one gone. Josh DeBaker to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to short. The last time up. The pitch. In there. Called it strike. 0-1.
Right. He used to wear that uniform. I'll never forget that. Cuccio trot out that XX uniform of his.
So he hired a guy to
Carry the equipment for him.
carry all the.
Here's the next pitch. That one's grounded to second. Buckman comes up with it. Throw on to first in time for a second out of the inning. 2 gone, though. Runner on third.
That was his name.
For the Locos, Parker Upton to the plate.
Third. That'll bring
He's
up
0 for
first
2
baseman
tonight.
for
Lined
the
out to
visitor.
short
Parker
is
Upton.
the last time up.
He came up every summer to work for Jerry. And then at the end of the summer, he'd go back home to Puerto Rico. I guess
There's the
he was
pitch.
on vacation. Him and
That's
the
outside. 1-0.
or something.
Well, I remember when Mariners used to have their chicken dinners. Used to have 2 chicken dinners every year. One during the season, one during the thing.
There's the 1-0 pitch. That one gets away from Chilton. Runner's going to come home. And the flip is not going to be in time. A wild pitch, and the game, just like that, is tied back up. So Mariners take the lead. Locos come right back and get a run of their own. The sacrifice bunt does prove to work out for the Locos.
Yeah. But when if the All-American when Mariners would have chicken dinner tonight.
Oh, when they'd have it. Okay, then he'd just go over and say, let me buy 30 of them.
Yeah, he'd order
2-1 pitch.
call and says, I'll take 30.
Called a strike. 2-2 now on Parker Upton.
That's the team meal.
25 and
Here's the
24,
2-2.
that's-
Popped up, out of play. Remains 2-2.
The Mutton's only about 9 under, which is not good, but that's not as bad as 25 and 44. But you know, that it's not about winning at that level. It's just getting those kids ready for the next one.
Hartford Wines delivers. And that one's popped up and back out of play. Gotta watch your cars over there.
I was inquiring when I was at the state baseball tournament about the
The 2-2 once again. Curveball outside.
seats.
Full count.
What do you said for the murder? They put the media after the games.
Oh yeah, what'd they say?
Can't remember.
12 bucks,
Yeah, something like that.
15.
I think it's a nice seat.
A 3-2 pitch, grounded on the first base line. Banger comes up with it. Taps first for the 3 unassisted. That ends the inning. Locos do get a run back. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Game once again tied back up. 3-3 though this time. We'll be right back here at Montgomery Field. Don't go anywhere. Bottom 6 we head. Score tied up at 3 apiece. It's been a back and forth battle between these two squads so far. Mariners got 2 in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Locos coming right back, get two of their own in the top half of the third. And then in the bottom of the fifth, the Mariners get a run. Locos come back in the top half of the sixth, get a run of their own. Linder drives one up the middle. Nice play by Tolbert. Throw on to first in time. One pitch, one gone here in the bottom half of the sixth inning.
One pitch, one out. That'll bring up the Mariner DH. Number 35.
Nick Vorta to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Shot.
No snake with him, though.
Round out hit the first his last time up.
Damien was not there.
Well, there's stories, you hear stories about they had to send him a couple, they had to change the snake every once in a while because it leaves out in the trunk overnight and it's like 30 degrees and
Kill it?
Pitch to Barta, called a strike, 0-1.
oh, there's some great stories.
Well, he had some problems, didn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, was he a heavy drinker or what was it? Drugs?
Next pitch bunted foul into the dugout of the Mariners, 0-2.
he's cleaned up.
Yeah, he didn't look too bad yesterday. I mean, he looks totally I mean, he's not all built
Oh
up.
yeah, he's slid down immensely.
Right.
3-3 is our score, bottom six, one gone. Nick Vorta at the plate. 0-2 count on him.
Yeah, he was a part
Line the pitch. That one's tapped up the middle. Tolbert coming on. He's going to make the running play. And Vorta is retired. Tolbert with back-to-back nice plays.
Gone, and nobody
And now there's two gone.
brings up the Mariners second baseman, Blake Buckman.
Blake Buckman to the plate. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Reached on a single his last time up. Also has an RBI. Back in the second inning, reached base on a walking, got the RBI.
I listen to Jim Cornette's podcast, well, both his podcasts. His letters, his viewers, his listeners, many more people ask questions.
There's an 0-1 count on Buckman.
A 90-minute.
That's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2.
Isaiah Gonzalez Montoya.
Buckman down the hole, 0-2. There's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him in front of that one. Side retired. 3 up, 3 down for the Mariners in the bottom half of the sixth inning. We'll go to the seventh. The score
Three.
still tied up at 3 apiece. Tyler Magley has taken the mound for the Mariners here in the top half of the seventh inning. That means Josh Herford's night is done.
New pitcher on the
Herford
mound,
went 6
Greg
innings, gave up 6 hits,
Locos,
3 runs,
Ohio.
2 walks, and 3 strikeouts for the right-hander, Josh Herford. Tyler Magley now on the mound. He came on relief last week and did a very good job in relief of Doc Wilkerson.
For the Locos, shortstop, Tyler Tolbert.
He's now back on the mound.
Where's it at?
Tyler Tobert made a couple of nice defensive plays in the field last half inning. Magley winds and delivers. That pitch is swung on. It's off the glove of Magley. Osmo, quick throw on to first in time, and they retire Tobert.
6-3. Yep, 1-6-3.
One up, one down. That brings up the Locos second baseman.
But Magley on the year, 6 1/3 innings pitched, no runs allowed, and 7 strikeouts. He also does have 2 walks, giving up 4 hits his last time out. One gone. The wind, the pitch. That one swung on, lined into left field. That one is coming on. Patrick Wright trying to make the diving play, but it goes off the end of his glove. Keeps it in front of him, though. Base hit for Will Kilgore.
Is that a hit or an
Yeah,
Good.
he dove for it.
One out, one on. Brings up the right fielder, Will Robertson.
Well, Robinson to the plate.
Second and might have had a save, but no, single.
1 for 2 tonight. There's a pitch. That one's popped up. Right field. Linder loses his footing. Buckman going out. He's going to have to make the catch. So Buckman makes the catch as that pile is popped really high. And it's going to replay
Brings up the
JT Thomas. So 2 gone here. Top 7, 3-3 our score. Will Kilgore on at first. Tyler Magley on the mound. And in relief for Josh Herford. Magley comes set. The pitch. Off and running. And ball's in the dirt, so no throw for Brian Chilton. That's going to be a stolen base for Will Kilgore. One 0 count on JT Thomas. Magley looks back at second. Now looks again. The pitch. Swung on, fouled, straight back. 1-1. 3 runs on 7 hits. No errors for the Locos. 3 runs on 6 hits. No errors for the Mariners. JT Thomas 0 for 3 tonight. Flew out to shortstop his last time up. Checked his swing. There you go. A appeal down to the field umpire. He did not go. 2-1. So that's very confusing to me. I don't really know how much you can tell if he went around the plate or not when you're standing near second base, but they still appealed down to him. It's a 2-1 count. The pitch inside, 3-1.
They're almost done.
3 balls, 1 strike.
I might need you to announce it because I don't know when they're going to be done.
Magley comes up, throws back to second. Saving a ball from going into the outfield was Buckman.
And the game's home. Who the better game is.
Oh, okay. We usually just pick.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Magley comes set. The 3-1. That one swung on, hit up the middle. Osmo rolling over and he bobbles it
Yep, that's a flat air there.
and can't come up with it. E6 on Osmo. Luckily did not get into the outfield, so runner does not come around to score.
2 out and 2 on. That'll bring up the Locos.
But runner's on the corner now with 2 gone.
Jackson Fag.
Jackson Fag now to the plate.
Why'd you have it so
One you have before.
There's the first pitch of Fag. He swung on and missed. 0-1.
Come on, it's 2 of 17.
He's 1 for 3 tonight. Throw over to first. Nothing happening. The 0-1 is high. 1-1. So runners on the corner with 2 gone. And it's a tie ball game at 3 apiece. Top of the 7th. 1-1 is the count. You have a back and forth matchup going on right now. The pitch. That one swung on. That one's hit towards the hole, and that's going to get into right field. Loco's going to take the lead.
Base hit for Fag.
So-
Unearned run, too. Shouldn't have 3 outs, guys.
Jackson Fag delivers a single into right, and Locos have taken a 4-3 lead here in the top half of the 7th inning. Very tough inning for the Mariners, as they could have gotten out of it with a play from Osmo as he was roaming to his left, and the ball just skipped up on him, and he couldn't make the play. So runners now on first and second with 2 gone. That pitch is popped up and out of play. Moves the count to 0-1. Garrett Hodges to the plate. Singled, came around to score his last time up. He's 3 for 3 on the day.
Unearned run. Jackson Fag. What is it? How do you pronounce it, Mark? Yavapani?
A pitch, that's outside. 1-1.
Yavape. Yavape. I'm a Billy Hatcher.
Arizona.
Yep. I'm a Billy Hatcher.
That's where Billy played.
Yavape.
Where Billy played.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Swung on. Fouled off down the left field line. 1-2.
Jackson Fag. We've got his trim brother on the team as well. Jedediah.
Twin.
Yeah.
Oh, Maglian head of the count here on Hodges. The pitch. That one's lined up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Fitzsimmons going to come on. The runner's going to come around from third, and he is going to score. It's a 5-3 Locos lead. Hodges improves to 4 for 4 on the day, proving to be a tough out for the Locos.
That could be.
That's unearned.
2 out, 2 on, run comes home. Locos lead 5-3. Brings up the catcher. Number 5, Stephen Dobbs.
So Stephen Dobbs coming to the plate. 5-3 Locos lead here now in the top of the 7th. Looking to quiet the bats now.
Hodges. 4 for 4.
There's the pitch. Checked his swing. It tapped out in front. And Magley throw on to first. And time for the final out of the inning.
2 runs on 3 hits.
But
The Locos. In the
the Locos get 2 runs. They are now on top by a score of 5-3. Bottom of the 7th, we had 5-3 Locos lead. Mariners going to have to plate a comeback here.
Steps in for Grand Lake.
Brian Chilton now to the plate.
We don't have Marty Glazer saying, take me out to the ball game. He did that a few times.
Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. 0-1.
Is that a ball or a strike, guys?
Strike.
Brian Chilton 0 for 2 tonight. And he swings and misses at that one. Down the hole now 0-2. 5-3 Locos lead, bottom 7. Locos have taken the lead here in the top half of the 7th. Could have got out of the inning for the Mariners, but an error by Nate Osmo. And Chilton struck out looking. And now there's one gone.
One up and one down. Brings up the left fielder, Pat Wright.
He's another UAV guy.
Pat Rife now to the plate. 2 for 2 tonight. RBI single back in the 2nd, and single his last time up and came around to score. Gonna try to start something for the Mariners here. There's the line, the pitch. That one swung on. That one is slicing foul down third base line.
Score must have completely missed it.
0-1.
They just went straight east and stayed southwest. Wapak, probably hit Wapak.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
I don't know.
Probably Wapak.
Yeah.
There's a pitch. That one's popped out of play. 0-2.
All down that way? Yeah.
Patrick Rife now down the hole. 0-2.
Yeah, remember this is
One gone.
Sometimes I forget how far south it is.
yeah.
The 0-2 pitch. That one's outside. 1-2.
Turn this into just straight set of guns.
Yeah. They stay open till midnight during the summer.
Mariners down 5-3.
On Sunday nights. What about Sunday?
That pitch is chopped to second.
11?
Coming up with it
I should be able
is Kilgore. Flips on to first for the second out of the inning.
2 outs. Nobody aboard.
2 up, 2 down.
That'll bring up the center fielder and leadoff hitter, Stevens. Fifth center.
It's Simmons now stepping to the plate. 6 straight Mariner batters retired. It's Simmons looking to
got a brand new press box.
stop that trend.
I mean, it's the same building, but they completely gutted the
There's the pitch. That one is lined right to the second baseman, Kilgore, for the out. No runs on no hits, no men left on. We'll head
Moving on
to
inning
the
number 8.
top half of the 8th inning.
3.
5-3, Locos lead.
The Locos.
Tyler Magley still on the mound. We're in the top half of the 8th inning. 5-3, the Locos lead.
Yeah, that's the main thing. They rotate the morning guy.
Here's a pitch. That one's low, 1-0.
What time do you have to be at work? 7 or 8?
Josh DeBaker at the plate. 0 for 3 tonight. Here's the next pitch. That one is grounded down the first base line. Foul ball, actually. Looked like it was fair, but called foul. 1-1 the count. Tomorrow is an off day for the Mariners. as they will host their kids camp tomorrow and Tuesday. On Tuesday,
Living in, he lives in Amesburg.
Which is about an hour away.
Well, his wife is working in Napoleon, so.
next pitch. That one is lined into right field, base hit.
Nobody out, runner at first. Center fielder bats now. Lima, Parker Upton.
Parker Upton to the plate. On Tuesday, the Mariners will play home to Lincoln County. And then they'll play 3 straight away. So they'll play at Lincoln County on Wednesday, at Cincinnati on Thursday, and Friday they'll be at Cincinnati again before they're back home on Saturday against Galleon.
He was copying pages of Wikipedia, not changing any lines. Word for word off Wikipedia.
There's the pitch, showing bunt, pulls back.
How about
Call the
that?
ball.
That's worse than the precedents. He just take the whole Wikipedia, copy and paste it, and that was his story.
Yeah, that did go over too well.
It's 1-0 count here on Parker Upton. Throw over, back in safely. 5-3 Locos lead here in the top half of the 8th inning, which is a much different ball game than last night. After getting 3 hits last night, the Locos have 10. Here's the next pitch, showing bunt. Bunt straight back, and Chilton comes up hobbling as he was standing up and possibly trying to throw out the runner. He seems to be all right and is walking it off. Count moves to 1-1.
I don't know what he's doing now. He's already been fired from half a dozen places. About 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's why it doesn't work for us anymore. It used to be rent leases, violent.
1-1 count.
You picked the wrong time.
There's the pitch, showing bunt again, bunts it back out of play. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Parker Upton, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Runner on first, no one gone. 5-3 Locos lead. Looks like Brandon Nixich is warming up in the bullpen for the Mariners. Magley comes set, now a throw over. Back in safely.
Because he was supposedly has done minor league baseball games, and he got called down to Cincinnati to be an emergency umpire for a Redskins.
Oh, he just,
Hard.
There's the pitch. Little.
and they bought it, huh?
She did.
Oh, she did.
I knew that.
Save me swing right there, and he pops it into short center field. Making the catch is
Smell something.
Osmo.
1 out, 1 on. Brings up
Now there's 1 out.
shortstop.
Back to the top of the order, Tyler Tobert is 1 for 4 tonight.
One of the other writers emailed
Round out as short as last time up. It was off the glove
and asked him. He said,
of Magley.
unless it's a minor league
That's
official,
who
unless
won.
they can get someone from like AAA.
Sharon Chilton.
If one of the umpires gets sick that night, they'll go.
Time is called.
Go with
Everybody
until they get it back.
going back.
The next day.
1 gone, top of the 8th. Tobert at the plate.
Sweetheart, bro.
Well, Laney told me what he used to do with Wapak was, he was supposed to cover.
Pitch is low, 1-0.
He wouldn't go.
Did you buy that? She gave it to me.
No, we're not gonna.
The 1-0
He
pitch
gave him a warning.
in there for a strike, 1-1.
We're not going to meetings, we're just calling people at home.
Did she actually say that?
You know, we call board members after meetings and that, but not, and we can't make the meeting, but
Well, yeah, well, it's one thing if you can't
you
make
just
it.
wouldn't do it at all.
Yeah, but if you're assigned to it, and that's the only thing you've got to do that night.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tobert.
I mean, that's different from just saying, hey,
Magley comes
I'm
set.
too busy, I got 5 other stories to write, I'm just,
A pitch. Swung on. Grounded third. Isles comes up with a long throw on to first. A nice stretch right there from Alave Benninger, and Tobert is retired. It was a good throw and a good stretch over there at first from Bettinger. 2 gone.
Runner at second. Brings up the Locos, second baseman. Will Kilgore.
Baker moves up to second base. Will Kilgore to the plate.
Big bat here.
1 for 2 tonight, but he does have 2 runs scored. He's hit by pitch back in the third, walked in the fifth, got a single his last time up, and came around to score his last time up as well.
He was one of the best players on the team from 2 years ago, won the title. I mean, he didn't play last year, he hurt his shoulder.
There's the pitch, check swing, but held it up. 1-0.
Thanks for letting me know about that, Tom.
Oh, Lance.
Oh, we'll have a fun story. We'll have fun doing that.
So I don't know what he's doing now. He's got a couple kids, you know.
There's the next pitch. That one's up high.
Oh, I know.
2-0.
His dad used to work at
Locos on top 5-3. We're in the top half of the 8th inning. 2 gone, runner on second.
35 years.
Mariners with 2 more chances at the plate, at least.
First ever high school football game I went to, it was with
Locos trying to get some an insurance run here.
his old man. His old name was Andy.
Magley on the mound.
Go over to watch St. Luke's and work
He comes set. Looks at second.
and skip.
Looks again. Now delivers home. That pitch is called a strike. 2-1.
Do you know his wife? He said she's like a nurse or something.
She may be.
That's what he said.
He was always talking about he wanted to get, because of his diabetes, he wanted to get into those and all. He would pull some stories out.
2-1 the count
Well, he says he's a nurse.
on Will Kilgore. The pitch. Swung on, chopped foul down third baseline. Evens the count up at 2-2. "5-3 the score. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
You give him the numbers. Lance, what's 34 of 53? And he tells you.
Really?
The 2-2. Swung on, hit to short. Osmo comes up with it. Can't get out of his glove. Throw to first. And it's by Benninger as the throw was in the dirt. And a run's going to come around to score. They do get that insurance run. It's going to be an error on Nate Osmo as the throw was low. We might have a pitching change here, and we will. 6-3 Locos on top.
Bagley out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm still.
Yeah.
We'll have a pitching change, and we'll be right back
He would do our. In fact, he would do.
after that. Brandon Nixich on the mound now for the Mariners.
Robertson.
Seeing his first action of the year for the Mariners. Magley tonight is done. 1 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, none of those earned, and that pitch is down the line. It's going to be a fair ball. And getting it is Reif, and an RBI double right there. First pitch swinging for Will Robinson. Scores Kilgore all the way from third or first. 7-3, Locos on top.
Two outs, runner at second. Locos lead 7-3. Batting now, J.T. Thomas.
JT Thomas now to the plate.
Kilgore, 3 runs scored tonight.
Nixich comes set the pitch. That one's low, 1-0. 7-3, Locos lead. They add 2 runs here. Third straight inning they have scored. They're on top by 4. Nixich comes set. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off to the left-hand side. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 gone, top of the 8th. 7-3, Locos lead.
Home run, double, 3 RBIs. Hodges 4 for 4.
Nixich steps off. Now back on the mound. One pitch outside. 2-1. On back-to-back innings, errors have kept the inning alive for the Mariners, or excuse me, the Locos, and they have capitalized. That pitch swung on to Buckman. He keeps his glove down, throw on to first in time, or third and final out. Will add to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Mariners down 4, 7-3, Locos lead
They lead 7-3.
here at Montgomery Field. Bottom of the 8th we go. Locos on top by a score of 7-3. Mariners have their work cut out for them. Joe Isles going to lead things off here. 1 for 3 here tonight with the RBI single his last time up. 7 straight Mariners have been retired. A pitch, that one's swung on, hit the third. Can't come up with it. Isles going to first, and he's going to be out. Very bang play over there at first base. As Isles is retired.
Brings up the shortstop, Nate Osmo.
Nate Osmo to the plate. Singled his last time up. Swinging a miss right there, 0-1. 1 for 3 on the night is the shortstop. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday to Nate Osmo. Pitch is up high, 1-1. Turning the Big O 21 is Nate Osmo. The next pitch, that one's chopped up the middle. Tobert going back on it. Throw on to first. In time. 2 gone. 2 up, 2 down so far for the Mariners in the bottom half of the 8th. Malave Benninger looking to keep the inning alive.
Malave Bettinger.
He's 0 for 2 tonight
Malave.
with a run scored.
There's Malave, Mark. Malave. Wasn't he like the middle linebacker or something, Gary? Outside linebacker?
Defensive tackle.
Was it defensive tackle?
Defensive tackle, offensive tackle.
There's the pitch. And Benninger drills this one. Center field, away back. This ball is G-O-N-E, gone. Malave Benninger delivers his second home run of the year. Has cut into that Locos lead. 7-4 now. Does Lima lead? Malave Benninger to straightaway center field as he got a hold of one.
2 outs. Home run by Bettinger makes it 7-4. Brings up the right fielder, Tucker Linder.
Tucker Linder now to the plate. He's looking to keep the inning alive. Bottom half of the 8th inning, 7-4. Here's the pitch. That one is popped up into foul territory, and that's going to be a strike. No one can reach it. 0-1. 2 gone, bottom half of the 8th, 7-4. The score now off the Benninger home run. Here's one the pitch. That one's in there for a strike, 0-2.
Mark was announced it. Oh, you did? Somebody did.
I'm not sure.
That pitch is grounded in the hole. Tobert going over. Quick throw on to first. And he's in time. Another bang-bang play, and Mariners not having any luck with the field umpire.
On a hit. Solo home run by
It's been 2 close plays there this inning, but
here at Montgomery Field.
the umpire in the field saying that Linder was out, 6-3 ground out. Benninger with a solo shot here in the bottom half of the 8th inning cuts into the Locos lead. It's 7-4. Lima leads. We head to the 9th inning. Top of the 9th inning, 7-4 the score here in Salino, Ohio. Braden Nixich on the mound. Line the pitch. Fouled off. 1-1. Jackson Vag at the plate. He's 2 for 4 tonight. That pitch is down and in. Gets to the backstop. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strikes. No one gone. Top half 9th inning. 7-4. Locos lead. The next pitch. Long on. Grounded to second. Buckman comes up with it. Throw on to first in time. 1 gone. Lamalve Bettinger cuts into the Locos lead in the bottom half of the 8th inning. See, it's a solo shot to dead away center field. That pitch is popped up. High fly, pop up, shallow center field. Osmo out and makes the catch. 2 gone.
2 gone, nobody on. Brings up the Locos catcher, Stephen Dobbs.
Stephen Dobbs now to the plate. 0 for 3 tonight with a sacrifice. That one is all out of play. 0 1. 7 runs on 11 hits. No errors for the Locos. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Mariners. Mixers comes set. That pitch rounded up the middle. Osmo roaming over. Comes up with it. Throw on to first in time. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 9th. Mariners looking to get a rally going here in the bottom of the 9th. 3rd down, 7 to 4. Bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Mariners. This is where they did all their damage last night, looking to repeat what they did last night, but this time they're going to have to come from behind instead of just take the lead. 2 up this inning.
For the Mariners,
Varda, Buckman, Chilton.
the designated hitter.
Varda to lead things off. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
He was like 87, Mark.
Let's see if he can start a rally for the Mariners here this inning.
But he went to Bowling Green. That's how he came. That's how he came. That's how.
On the pitch, that one's low, 1-0.
And then from there, he started teaching at Lima Senior when he graduated from Bowling Green. So that's.
Player of the game, have you given it to Banger this year? 1 for 2.
That pitch fouled back.
2 runs scored.
1-1.
Malave. Olave.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch low, 2-1. Nikita coming back is obviously getting base runners on for the Mariners. You take it any way you can.
Did Harley call him the greatest?
There's the next pitch. That one's in the dirt, 3-0. Varda at the plate. He's ahead in the count, 3-1. So going to try to, I would say, be a little more selective right now at the plate if you're Varda. There's the next pitch.
Harley called him the best hitter in
That's outside corner. Got called a strike. It's a full count. Well, Varda at the plate. Looking to get things started for the Mariners.
He's got to be pretty close to the top of that.
We've done a lot of damage in the 9th inning. Last couple of games, that pitch has popped up. It's in foul territory, and that one is going to drop in foul territory. Remains 3-2.
Yeah, he was first base coach. Fuller. He's bench coach Fuller.
They scored 7 in the 9th. last night. And they scored 5 in the ninth
Well, you asked his dad, it was like,
2 nights ago.
screw him up. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I believe it.
So plenty of
But you know what?
ninth inning magic
It'll lick
for the Mariners. Going to see if they have a little more left.
Remember about Corey Klinke was
You hope they haven't used all of it, but never know. It's a full count on Nick Varda.
State Acme Tournament.
Montoya winds, delivers. That pitch is outside. He walked him. So leadoff man gets on base for the Mariners. Blake Buckman to the plate.
And he's barking at the umpire as he's walking down the first gate.
It looks like we're going to have a pitch runner. Looks like R.J. Williams going to come in the pitch run now for Nick Varda. So R.J. Williams came on to pitch run in the ninth last night as well.
got tossed.
He came in to run for
Pinch runner at first base for the Mariners, R.J. Williams. Williams, pinch runner at first base.
Malave Bettinger last night.
Nobody out. Runner at first. Brings up second baseman, Blake Buckman.
As Blake Buckman comes to the plate. Williams scored the go-ahead run last night. Montoya comes set. Time is called. Buckman steps back as Montoya was taking too long with the pitch.
Yeah, that cost us because he was the number 2 pitcher on the team. Behind Sam Slavic.
RJ takes his lead off first.
To the state final, but he was the lead.
Montoya comes set. The pitch. That's in the dirt. Good backhand stop right there.
I think they were off. They went, but that was the final close that
It's a 1-0 count on Buckman. And it looks like Jeff Timko has picked up a bat, is now in the on-deck circle for Brian Chilton.
Justin Hancock.
I think they had Shane Murray on that team too.
There's a pitch. That one swung out. That one's flied into right field, but that one's going to find the stands where they would be if there were stands out in the right field line. 1-1 count on Blake Buckman. 1 ball, 1 strike. No man down. Runner on first. Bottom of the ninth. 7-4. Locos lead.
Right, they had their park. But still, in the softball, they made the softball.
Montoya comes set. Throws over.
They're for softball as well.
Williams back in safely.
See how they play that. How that game goes on turf. You know?
Softball?
Yeah. So, it's like playing on grass. I think Saline and St. Mary's did that once. They needed to finish the game, and so they configured this to play softball.
1-1 pitch on its way. That one's lined in the left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Almost hops over the left fielder's head because it took a big hop up there, but first and second now for the Mariners. Jeff Timko is now going to pitch it for Brian Chilton. We're going to have a trip to the mound. So runners on first and second. No one gone. 7-4 Locos lead. First 2 base runners have reached base for the Mariners. Timko has picked up the bat. Going to pitch hit now for Brian Chilton. And it looks like Montoya's night is done. We'll head. We'll be right back with this pitching change and update. But don't go anywhere. We have what looks like an exciting bottom half of the ninth inning. Back here, bottom of the ninth inning. First two base runners have reached base for the Grand Lake Mariners. Jeff Timko has pitch hit for Brian Chilton right now. It's R.J. Williams who came in to pitch run for Varda, and Blake Buckman down at first.
Once again, pitching for the Locos from Creighton University, Jackson Vaselis. Vaselis on the mound. Pinch hitter for the Mariners from Rochester Hills, Michigan, and Eastern Michigan University, Jeff Timko.
Oh, Timko on the at the plate.
For Grand Lake.
It's Jackson Vaselis. Comes from Creighton University. On the mound now. So Vaselis on the mound. Timko at the plate. 2 on, no one gone. The pitch. Curveball in there for a strike, 0-1. Timko has batted pretty well for the Mariners here early on. Let's see if he can deliver a big base hit here. There's the pitch. Thought about it for a second, but wisely holds up. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Second and first. Bottom 9. 7-4 the score. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Looks like it hit the just tip of the bat. 1-2. Jeff Dowling count 1-2. Vaselis on the mound. He comes set. The 1-2. Swung on that one's line right back at Vaselis. His only play is going to be to first base. And that one hit him pretty hard. I hope he's all right. He's waving to his coach saying he's all right, telling him to get back to the dugout. It does move the base runners up a base each. A hard hit from Jeff Timko right back to the pitcher, but Vaselis does come up with the ball and heads to throw to first, and Timko is retired.
2 on. That'll bring up the Mariner left fielder, Pat Wright.
Pat Wright to the plate. He's 2 for 3. We're going to be good hitter in this 9 slot. Good position to be for the Mariners. There's a pitch to Rife. He looks at a pitch. Called a strike, 0-1. Rife singled in. Came around to score.
This could get real interesting with base hit here.
And in the 5th. There's the pitch. Fouled off. Rife down the hole, 0-2. Down count 0-2, 1 gone. Bottom 9. Second and third are Mariner runners. There's the 0-2 pitch to Rife. Swung on and fouled off.
Way out there.
We'll do it again at 0-2. Mariners looking to have some more 9th inning magic. They've scored that pitch is up and away. 1-3. Or 1-2. I can't count. 1-3, he would be out of the inning, but it's only 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A pitch. Swung on. That one's lined into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run scores for R.J. Williams. And now it's on the corners with 1 gone. Patrick Rife delivers. An RBI single to left center. 7-5 is the ball game.
From the corner, then a run home. Makes the score 7-5.
Stephen Fitzsimmons to the plate. He's been the best hitter for the Mariners so far this year. Let's see if he can continue this inning. Tying run now down at first base. Go ahead run to the plate. Here's the pitch. Check swing. He says he went around. 0-1.
Yeah, 3 hits and 2 RBIs now.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Right. 3 hits, 2 RBIs.
A pitch to Fitzsimmons is low. 1-1.
Miles away.
One ball, one strike, one gone. Runners on the corner. Bottom 9. 7-5 the score. The pitch. Outside corner called a strike. So Fitzsimmons going to have to dig in right here. He takes a couple deep breaths and heads back to the batter's box. Runners on the corner. 1-2 count. Throw back to first, and safely is Reif.
We got 1 out here. First and third, 1 out.
Buckman at third. Comes set. The 1-2. That one swung out and popped up high. But it's going to get out of play down the right field line, so we'll do it again at 1-2. One-two pitch. That one's grounded right back to the pitcher. Throw on to second. Throw back to first. In time. 1-6-3. Double play. Ends the ball game. Mariners fall to the Locos 7-5. Their 9th inning magic runs out a little bit. It was a tough hit from Stephen Fitzsimmons, but nice play by the pitcher to throw back to second. The Mariners and Locos ties this mini-series 1-1. Mariners dropped to a record of 5-3. Locos improved to 6-3. Mariners have the off day tomorrow. They'll be back Tuesday when they're home against Lincoln County. That first pitch at 7:05. Catch that game right here on YouTube. Quick recap, and the Mariners score 2 in the bottom half of the second to get out in front. The Locos would come back, score 2 of their own. Mariners would go back on top 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th, but the Locos would come back and score 1 in the top of the 6th. And then the Locos would score 4 more after that and take a 7-3 lead. Malavey Benninger goes deep in the bottom of the 8th to cut it to 7-4. And then the Mariners get their first 2 base runners on, and they get a run home in the bottom of the 9th, but that's all that they would get. And final here, 7-5. The score, Lima improves 6-3, Grand Lake 5-3. We'll be back Tuesday night. Thank you for watching and listening here this evening. We'll be back here Tuesday night. Hope to catch you then.